It's over 900! What? 900 subscribers? We are back with a vengeance. In Oblivion, there are NPCs so unintentionally creepy they warrant further discussion. I am not the only one to have noticed. But before we get to that, what do you notice? The Fighters Guild Porters. I bring to you the creepiest NPCs in the game. More than cultists and conspiracy theorists.
We can't talk here.
And characters based on people from Manchester. Their hauntings of this game goes back a lot of years. So let's talk about them. Every Fighters Guild hall will have one of these people. All of them Bretons apart from one, Quarrel's Fighters Guild Porter, who interestingly enough is the only one who cannot offer you repair services. Not that this matters too much as there is an NPC on hand who can offer you repair services anyway. But they're not creepy, like these guys. What was that? Oh, it sounds like a... No! They follow you around the same way shopkeepers would, or people who think you are trespassing. Doesn't matter if you are invisible or not, this is purely scripted behaviour. They never sleep.
You sleep rather soundly.
They can turn invisible in combat and silence you. They will actually follow you at set times, but can remain following you as long as you stay in their company. If you were to leave and then come back, there's a chance they wouldn't, depending on what time it is. The opening of doors and heavy footsteps alert you to their presence.
What?
If you are not a member of the Fighters Guild, but you're in a guild hall after midnight, expect one to sprint straight up to you, asking you to leave.
It's time for you to go. Sorry, I have things. Excuse me, but you have to leave now. I need to lock up.
If you are a member, this is where the fun begins. If you break line of sight, they will follow you. They are essentially weeping angels from Doctor Who, or Boos from Mario. Something I like to do in Oblivion is try and run around them, see what they do. My personal favourite Fighters Guild Porter is Anvil's. The initial floor of Anvil's guild hall is basically a nice rectangle, full of doors, in a loop. This layout is the most fun. This is just like Resident Evil 2. We had the makings of a horror game all along. We just didn't realise it. No.
Greetings to you.
Hackdirt has its atmosphere, but this has persistence. Giving them these AI packages was a mistake.
What?
This is just very uncomfortable. Ugh. This is a case where Oblivion's lovable jank actually turns to unintentionally horrifying. Now let's get technical. The copy and paste brush is strong at Bethesda, but not perfect. I'm going to be using the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages to help me with this one. So in Oblivion, every NPC has two unique codes assigned to them, a ref ID and a base ID. So we're going to take a look at them and see what this can tell us. So starting with everyone's favourite, the Anvil Porter. His ref ID, notice how it ends in 947AA and base ID 612. Level 30 and a 9. Let's look at Braville's. His ref ID 947AB and base ID 613. Clearly coming after the Anvil one. Right, now let's have a look at Bruma. 947AC and base ID E2DF. The ref ID follows on, but the base ID just doesn't. Shadenhall. Ref ID 947AD, base ID 6C614. That one clearly follows from Braville. Now we get to Quarrel, the only Imperial that we've got amongst these people. Ref ID ends with A9, does not follow from Shadenhall at all. Base ID, however, does. Leywin ref ID ends with AE, base ID ends with 16. Skingrad. Ref ID ends with AF, base ID ends with 611. In terms of differences between original Oblivion and Oblivion Remastered, we have got two porters who have had big redesigns, while the rest look like they used to do-ish. Skingrad's and Braville's porter in the original game both were men with short, grey hair. They look very similar to each other. In fact, I played clips of them back to back earlier in this video. Maybe you noticed. In the remaster, they are now men with dark hair with facial hair. A copy and paste in a different way, I suppose. The differences in ref ID or base ID could suggest that they were made out of order. It could hint at the cities originally planned for the game were very different. As mentioned earlier, Quarrel's Porter being an Imperial rather than a Breton, and being unable to repair your armor makes it seem as if there was an oversight on Bethesda's part there. As I played at the start of the video, certain comments about people in the community over years about their interpretation of why the Porters do what they do, it's just Bethesda's programming, giving them AI packages reminiscent of shopkeepers in the game. The ground floor of each Fighters Guild is not an area where you can be classed as being a trespasser. Upstairs and other rooms, sure, but generally not the actual main ground floor. The Porter's insistence of making you leave to lock up is actually accurate in that the door would be locked on a certain time of day. A porter is a person designated to serve. In terms of making it work in the games world, they clearly appear to be the guards of the Fighters Guild premises. Once you become a member, and instead of sprinting at you to go, they now just watch your every movement. We could justify Bethesda's AI package as them simply being concerned about the newest member of the Fighters Guild and what they are actually intending to do. After all, in the story, we do know that the Fighters Guild is facing immense competition from the Blackwood Company undercutting them. I suppose a more positive interpretation of their habits would be that they're actually looking out for us, protecting us. That would make more sense as you rise through the ranks of the Fighters Guild. But even if I say saying things like this, perhaps, there's no disguising, it's just Bethesda's AI packages. But the Fighters Guild pause, even from playing this game years ago as a teenager, it's something that's always stuck out to me. These generic characters with no names being so daft and creepy is still a reason why I want to play this game. If somebody in the modding community was to make me a total conversion horror mod from Oblivion starring the Anvil City Fighters Guild Porter, then the universe will be forever in your debt, as you will be in mine. From a practical perspective, ignoring the connotations of how they actually act and the use of AI packages, from a gameplay perspective, if you've been out on a Fighters Guild mission, you return to a local guild hall to sleep, to level up, to recover your health, having this random guy follow you, allowing you to repair items very quickly because he's not going anywhere, is convenient. No other joinable faction in the game has an equivalent to the Porters. What's special about them is that they are significant because they are not significant at all. No name, recycled AI packages, and clearly copy and pasted with some interruptions involved, but their suspicious devotion to their duties, horror vibes, and being in every city in the game apart from Kvatch and the Imperial City, has made them be talked about for years, even though they are just generic people in a building. Oblivion has the foundations of a horror game, and the Porters are an unintentional consequence of game design. My personal favourite description online that I've read about a Fighters Guild Porter comes from an old GameFAQs post, titled, "Does anyone else get followed around inside the Anvil Fighters Guild by that creepy Porter guy?" Okay, so this probably just sounds really weird, but no matter where I go inside the Anvil Fighters Guild, the Porter guy, mostly balding man in full armour, will not stop following and staring at me. But so far, he has nothing useful for me, so I don't get it. I could be watching a group of people beating on a practice dummy, and he will only be staring at me. Is he just a creep, or really nosy? Or is no one else having this issue? I feel stalked by a fictional character. This post got one reply, and that only received a downvote. The Fighters Guild Porters are supposed to follow you around to offer weapon repair and to keep you from stealing stuff if not a member. As we've established, if you are a member, they are going to keep you in their line of sight in certain parts of the day as part of their scripting package to offer you repair services. It's an entertaining description. Let me know about your experiences with the Fighters Guild Porter. Someone I'm sure will have a great story about one of them. Maybe, like me and this GameFAQs user, it could be about the Anvil Man. Well, any will suffice, really. Makes me happy that people in 2006 and 2025 have all noticed this, and I'm not the only one. Some people clearly have a lot to say. Which do you think is more bizarre? Them sprinting up to you in the steel armour? Or just observing in the background constantly? The Mages Guild is about fighting necromancy and looking at all the detailed undead creatures. Arguably, the Porters are more unnerving than that. How could it make them more unnerving, you might ask? Well, characters like Glathia are scripted to speak to you automatically as long as they are close enough. What if the Porters force dialogue with you if you are close enough? Either way, promote the Fighters Guild. But don't worry, in the remaster, they're up to their old tricks. Chasing and or following. Thank you very much for watching. Good day, and goodbye.